paranoia from the Under Siege Raw permeates through the WWE Universe. SmackDown kind of felt good about itself, except for Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was not too happy with the Raw Under Siege.
Yeah, because apparently Shane didn't tell him what was going to happen.
Yeah, and he was very stern with Shane throughout the night.
Because he's like, hey, my whole job is to balance out your decisions. You know, that's the whole reason why initially there were 2 power figures put on both shows, is so no one person could make every decision without being in check from the other person, which got thrown out the window because now there's only one on Raw.
Yeah.
But you know,
Daniel Bryan's trying to keep it the way it was supposed to be, but Shane started the night extremely proud of himself.
Yeah.
Saying that I was taught early on when you go to war, it's best to strike first. And that's exactly what SmackDown did, and he plans on making sure that his teams are strong when they go into Survivor Series. And then he was visited by Sami Zayn, who apparently had talked to Kevin Owens, and they were both in agreement that they would be more than happy to be on Team SmackDown to make sure that SmackDown won against Team Raw. And Shane's like, I really don't want either of you on the team. It's not... Wasn't really thinking about it.
Not a priority.
Nope.
But SmackDown's the land of opportunity.
Exactly. So Shane stuck to his guns, and he's like, you know what? You can have a spot. As long as you beat your opponent tonight, you'll have a spot right on the SmackDown Survivor Series team. And Sami's like, that's cool. Who? I mean, I should probably know who my opponent is. And Shane's like, oh, don't worry. It's just Randy Orton.
Only Randy Orton.
Just a 13-time world champion. It's fine. It's fine. With Benjamin and Gable taking on the New Day with the tag team champions, the Usos at ringside. Usos getting a front row seat, checking out their newest contenders, probably post Survivor Series since they got to gear up to face the Shield.
Shield.
The Shield.
That is the match maybe I'm the most excited for.
No, the Shield versus the Usos.
At least until we find out who the 10 guys are going to be in the men's Raw versus SmackDown Survivor Series match. Right now, still Usos versus the New Day.
The Shield.
So whatever, Shield Day. New Shield.
It's a new Shield.
The Usos.
Bam!
Best Survivor Series team ever.
The new Shield?
Yeah.
I'd be okay.
Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, Kofi, Big E, and Xavier.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. That's.
We hear it'd just be Xavier tromboning the.
Yeah, no, I'm down for that. Benjamin and Gable would pick up the win. Kind of I don't know how I felt about this end. I don't know if there was something that I missed, like leading up to this moment that made Xavier Woods extra sensitive to just a kick to the back of the head. But essentially that's all it was, is he got backed up against the ropes, Benjamin kicked him in the back of the head, and he just fell down, and Gable pinned him.
Well, it's one of those moments where we become so accustomed to every match has to have a finishing move.
I didn't need a finishing move, I just felt like one kick to the back of the head was... I mean, I've seen Xavier Woods go through a lot of shit. He was just in hell of a cell against the Usos.
But he's never been kicked in the back of the head by Shelton Benjamin before. You see Shelton Benjamin's legs?
I mean...
It's kind of like a donkey's leg. Without the hair.
Maybe.
He kicks hard.
But Benjamin and Gable picked up the win.
All it takes is something to keep somebody down long enough for 3 seconds. Could be anything. I've seen double clotheslines will keep people down for like 8 seconds.
And neither guy has the ability to just put an arm over.
Yeah.
After that double clothesline.
Yeah.
We had the newest Fashion Files spoof, whatever you want to call it. We had Fashion Dogs.
Yeah, Reservoir Dogs.
With Breezango and the Ascension. They had they'd kidnapped, they had.
Yeah, they kidnapped James Ellsworth.
They kidnapped James Ellsworth
because somebody saw him with a briefcase.
Yeah.
Not the briefcase they were looking for. It was obviously Carmella's Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yeah. So.
But Breezango are easily confused.
Yeah. Victor was gonna get to the bottom of it right away. He was gonna cut James Ellsworth's chin off to make him talk.
Which I was really curious to see how he was going to try and do that because
I just want to know.
That's like trying to cut Stone Cold's hair.
I just want to know why he felt like specifically cutting the chin off of someone is going to get information. I mean, not to say that it wouldn't. It just seems like.
Have you ever had your chin cut off?
No,
it's pretty sensitive area.
I still have my chin. It's
a pretty sensitive area, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have this. This covers up the fact that my chin is gone. It's been cut off.
Sad day.
Twice.
It's you should write a book. They did not cut off the non-existent chin of James Ellsworth because Carmella came in and said, "Hey, I need him." Pull the rope. Just yanked the rope off of James
just
Ellsworth.
came right out.
Apparently they found awful, gross underwear in the briefcase. Why Carmella didn't know that was in her Money in the Bank briefcase?
Because she doesn't carry it around. It's James is the one who's in charge of protecting it.
But you think she'd want to, like... I don't know. I feel like I'd be super paranoid if I had the Money in the Bank contract. I'd like... constantly make sure it was in the briefcase.
Yeah, well, she probably will now.
Yeah.
She don't want to make sure there ain't
she just
poop stains on it.
Yeah, so she ends up pulling James Ellsworth away. Fandango just throws the nasty underwear over his shoulder. And they're like, well, that's another case closed. And the Ascension are like, you literally didn't solve anything. You haven't solved anything. And they're still trying to convince Breezango that the 2B case is the Bludgeon Brothers.
Yeah. They're like, yeah, it's look at it. They've destroyed, attacking people, destroying the office. The fact that it's just 2B and the initials of Bludgeon Brothers is BB.
Oh, the B in Brothers is silent.
Yeah.
Tyler. Come
on. Trying too hard now.
And the whole Bludgeon Brothers thing turned them into... headed them in a new direction that next week we will get stranger things. Oh boy.
I hope this gets a cease and desist order.
It's
not the first time Netflix has sent out a cease and desist order over Stranger Things. So
yes, that's right. We did. You and I talked about that before. So yeah, we'll see that next week. I'm very interested. Also interested that Stranger Things Season 2 comes out this week. So
yeah,
perfect timing. We had Sin Cara looking to strike, having lightning strike twice and beating Baron Corbin for a second week in a row.
And he did
by disqualification
because Baron Corbin was beating the shit out of Sin Cara.
Yeah, Corbin can't listen to the rules or the referee. He just beat the shit out of Sin Cara. So now Sin Cara has 2 wins over the United States champion.
You know, this is very reminiscent of an old feud in like the mid-2000s. This is how the Shelton Benjamin Triple H feud went.
You're right.
Shelton Benjamin picked up a couple fluke wins over Triple H, count out in disqualification. Before the third go around, he actually pinned him. Non-title.
And he ended up getting a WWE title shot after that, didn't he?
Which he lost.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's not a former champion, so.
Former Intercontinental and Tag Team and United States champions.
Yeah. not a WWE champion. Speaking of the WWE champion, Jinder and the Singh brothers fired back at Paul Heyman.
And, I mean, not to discredit them, but they're not Paul Heyman.
I didn't need him to be Paul Heyman. I appreciated what they did. It definitely wasn't a Paul Heyman promo.
I liked that the Singh brothers presented themselves as Paul Heymans. They called themselves advocates.
Yeah, advocates of the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE champion and the modern day Maharaja, Jinder Mahal.
The modern day what?
Maharaja! And then Jinder Mahal just fucking... He was amped up. He had a lot to say. He was pissed off.
A little bit of revisionist history on his part, though.
He was...
About how he dominated Randy Orton.
Well, he did.
Out-wrestled Shinsuke Nakamura.
In true heel fashion. Yeah. This leading into Sunil having the honor, the privilege...
He was honored to fight in the name of Jinder Mahal.
Oh, against AJ Styles. This lasted maybe a minute.
Yeah.
Jinder Mahal got sent to the back. Samir got to stay out there. But it only took a couple seconds for AJ to lock in the calf crusher and made Sunil tap out. So now next week, in the honor of Jinder Mahal, Samir Singh will face AJ Styles.
And he's going to get revenge for his brother.
Yep. Then we had Kevin Hawk's favorite match of all time, the Fatal 5-Way. This to determine which of the 5 ladies will be the captain of the Smackdown Women's Survivor Series team.
Yeah.
We do know the 5 members.
Yeah, not Lana.
Yeah, not Lana and not Natalya.
No.
That's it.
Everybody all the women backstage, with the exception of Natalya, because she's obviously got the champion versus champion match coming up. They're like, oh yeah, you guys are going to be the team. And then they're like, how are we going to all be the team? Because there's 6 of us, but only 5 spots. And Daniel Bryan is just like, oh yeah, not you, Lana.
Lana went, what? And so we had Becky, Charlotte, Naomi, Carmella, and Tamina all on a Fatal 5-Way to determine who was going to be the captain of the team. Lots of fun stuff in this. I like that they didn't stick to the rings specifically. They did a lot of outside fighting, which was cool. A lot of breaking on.
Utilize it in a match that doesn't have countouts or disqualifications.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Lana could just blatantly interfere in behalf of Tamina, which she did.
Yeah, she did, and it's perfectly legal. It was fun watching them utilize the space and just kind of just go fucking nuts. But eventually, Tamina did have the advantage. She ended up tossing Charlotte over the barricade. She's out in the crowd. Tamina ends up getting taken out by Naomi. Naomi ends up getting taken out by Carmella. And Carmella tries to pin Becky Lynch, but she just can't. And Becky Lynch makes Carmella tap out. And Becky Lynch is going to be the captain of the SmackDown Survivor Series team.
All right.
I like it.
So we have Team Straight Fire versus Team
Raw.
God only knows what Alicia Fox would call her team.
It's Team Straight Fire versus Team Cray Cray.
Yeah.
She won't call it that, but we're going to call it that.
I hope she tries to convince all of the members of her team to have, like, temper tantrums.
I don't see Sasha or Bayley.
It's going to be like a training exercise.
They have to spill Coke on themselves and throw a box of tissues at Nia Jax's face.
It'll just be a cardboard cutout of Nia Jax, though.
Yeah, because she's not there. So in... what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. As well as the Samir versus AJ Styles next week, we're also going to be getting Dolph Ziggler versus Bobby Roode.
In addition to?
That's one way to say it. We're getting Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler in 2 out of 3 falls.
Yeah.
Should be interesting.
Dolph was just like, yeah, I'm down for the idea. Just hope that your ego is ready to be embarrassed twice in one night.
And Bobby Roode says that next week's SmackDown is going to be glorious.
Glorious! goodness!
And we finish the night off with Randy Orton versus Sami Zayn, the winner being the first member of Team Smackdown. Great match between the two of them.
Yeah.
I love Sammy's overly excited, I don't give a shit character. It's fun to watch. His promo with Shane was good, and then just his mannerisms in the ring are really fun to watch. Randy Orton, obviously solid as usual. Kevin Owens decided to make his presence felt towards the end of the match, trying to add a little bit of a distraction for Sami Zayn. Didn't help out too much.
No, actually, did the opposite of helping.
Yeah, because Randy Orton got to turn the tables.
He avenged the Vipers.
He avenged his ding-ding.
Yeah, the Vipers' jewels.
While the referee was distracted with Kevin Owens, Randy Orton hauled off and hit Sami Zayn in the balls and made sure that Kevin Owens watched as he delivered the RKO. And Randy Orton is the first member of Team Smackdown.
And I wouldn't say a bad team captain if he's being considered for the role.
Yeah. And next week we find out the second member of Team Smackdown because Kevin Owens will also have a qualifying match. He will face Shinsuke Nakamura. That's going to be good.
Yeah.
And speaking of next week, we've kind of finished off with another conversation between Shane and Daniel Bryan because of the attack on Raw. Security was heightened to make sure that Raw didn't retaliate. And Shane's like, look, nothing happened. They didn't attack us tonight. And Daniel's like, yeah, tonight, but there's still a few weeks left, and when they do, you have to deal with that because that's your job. And so, yeah, Daniel Bryan kind of shoving it back into Shane's face about the decisions that he chose to attack Raw first. That being said, let's move over to 205 Live. We open up with a different set of cruiserweights to face off against the newly formed team of Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander. That being Noam Dar and Tony Nese. They make a hilarious team.
Yes. Well, they're part of the Instagram stable, the Fitness Friends.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I was trying to.
the Fitness Friends. Something to that degree. And
I was trying to look through Instagram and find out what it was.
It's the only guys who are part of Enzo's clique.
Yeah.
Minus Enzo.
Yeah, which is exactly how it should be. Instead of the usual pairings of like Nese and Gulak, and instead of going against Brian Kendrick and Jack Gallagher, they had Tony Nese and Noam Dar. I love the fact that Noam Dar isn't like really in shape. He doesn't have like all the muscles that Tony Nese does. He was doing like the bicycle kick, like the kicks in the corner, and like Tony Nese is telling him to like put his arms up because that's what works the abs, and he goes, it doesn't work. I want my money back. Like he bought fitness equipment. It was funny. But after Rich Swann takes out Tony Nese on the outside, it did a little tumbleweed. Noam Dar ends up getting hit with a lumbar check, and Cedric Alexander picks up the win for him and Rich Swann. There was a slight distraction towards the end because Jack Gallagher and Brian Kendrick were watching from the stage and made an interesting little proposition to Cedric Alexander.
Yeah, they gave Cedric a little bit of an ultimatum, if you will. Kendrick saying, hey man, I dig some of the stuff you do, and I've seen that you've got a mean streak, and that's kind of what you need to survive in wrestling. So we're going to give you the choice. You can utilize that mean streak and join up with us and continue on being successful, or you can keep pairing up with idiots like Rich Swann, who just dance around all the time and be considered a joke by association. And next week, we're going to get Rich Swann.
Yeah.
And you got to decide, are you going to help us or are you going to help him?
And if you don't make a decision, we're going to make one for you. So, yeah. I I want to know what their issue is with Rich Swann.
Well, I don't think they have an issue with Rich Swann. Their issue is with Cedric Alexander. And it has been this whole time. But the thing is they're trying to get him to cut the dead weight. And that's his test. Is if he can get rid of Swann.
Interesting. Well then, we'll see how that goes. Not sure if that's. Not sure if it's going to happen on Raw. Not sure if it's going to happen on 205 Live.
Well, I'm missing 205 Live because they said 1 week to decide. I mean, you could definitely consider Raw rounding it to a week.
Yeah.
It's only a day apart.
Yeah. Up next, we had Drew Gulak looking to give us a refresher course on the beginning of his PowerPoint presentation. He's none too happy with the fact that he's still not happy that his PowerPoint presentation got cut from the kickoff show of TLC. So he was going to go through all 277 on 205 Live. He got through one. And then Grand Metalik came out.
They totally violated number 5, which is no interruptions.
Yeah.
And then in the match, he proceeded to violate all the other rules.
Yeah, I think the only thing he didn't violate was chanting, because he didn't chant.
Yeah.
Because he's not Akira Tozawa. But yeah, Metalik doing moonsaults to the outside off the top rope, doing danger ranas, doing all kinds of stuff. Grand Metalik flying all over the place. Not an easy task for Drew Gulak. That is... I don't know, Grand Metalik decided that he was going to go... I don't think I've ever even seen him do something from a fireman's carry position.
Who? Metalik?
Yeah.
It's the Metalik driver. It's the move he used to advance 2 rounds of the Cruiserweight Classic with. It's just a cradle shock.
Grand Metalik is not on 205 Live enough for me to remember that. Well, then that's what he was going for. And that was his undoing, as Drew Gulak was able to slide off of his back and immediately lock in a Dragon Sleeper and make Grand Metalik tap out. So again, Drew Gulak showing that his ground game is more than enough to win matches. And he decided that he was going to make sure that Grand Metalik could never jump off the top rope again. He was going to break his knee.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it was more like an ankle. But, I want to know what his plan was. Because he just put his foot on the rope, and then he put a sign on his foot. And then he just was moving towards it. And I'm like...
See, because I thought he had the foot propped up on the rope, and I thought the sign was propped up on the knee. I thought he was gonna kick the sign into Metalik's knee, and he was gonna destroy the whole situation.
I was hoping he was gonna try and do the bit where he jump off the bottom rope and sit down on their leg, but just crotch himself with his own sign.
That would have made Drew Gulak look really stupid. Instead, Akira Tozawa.
Right now. Akira
Tozawa was the one that made Drew Gulak look real stupid, coming out to save Grand Metalik. He didn't get to do a whole lot because Gulak was like, "No, I'm not sticking around for this." Gulak taking off. I have a feeling this might be one of the Smackdown versus Raw matches at Survivor Series potentially, unless they decide to do it on 205 Live. But I think we might get like final pre-show match between Gulak and Tozawa.
Yeah.
But yeah, Tozawa's back from he was only off TV for a week, but he's back and he's looking to exact some revenge on Drew Gulak.
Yeah, his throat isn't impotent anymore.
God, I forgot to use that word.
Because he was on with the best of them.
Sure. And in the main event, Kalisto invoking his rematch clause against Enzo Amore. Enzo having Ari Daivari cut his promo this time. very
not in Iranian.
Yeah.
Or Persian. Or Farsi. Which is another language they speak in Iran.
It was very, very Rock-esque the way he did, because he had the sunglasses on. His
he had the Rock shirt.
Yeah, he had the whole.
That was the whole like early Rock gimmick, was expensive clothes.
Yeah, and the ridiculous shirts with the weird.
Yeah,
like all the
$600 shirt.
Yeah.
Old Nintendo 64 wrestling reference for you.
He talked up Enzo quite a bit, talked down Kalisto, cut a little bit in Persian, and then spelled out soft, and then told everyone that it wasn't sing along with Davari Dinero, and then said soft himself.
And apparently he's just gonna adopt that name.
Yeah.
Dinari.
Dinari Davero.
Yeah, just shipping himself with himself.
Yeah, no, Enzo gave him a name, and he's sticking to it, and that's sad. I'm sorry, Davari. No, I'm not. You did this to yourself. Because you decided to side with him. You could have just stuck with the rest of cruiserweights and just like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Whatever. Kalisto was definitely thinking, fuck that guy, though.
Yeah.
Kalisto kicked the shit out of Enzo quite a bit in this match.
Yeah, and Enzo showed a little bit of a mean streak this go around.
Yeah,
he attempted. Here's the one thing that like I was first when I was watching, I was like, oh, what's he gonna do? And then like as the logistics of the move that I saw Enzo trying to attempt started going through my head, I'm like, okay, I mean I appreciate what you're trying to go for, but it's gonna be shit regardless.
Was it the superplex?
Well, no, he's going for. They're on the apron.
Oh!
And he's starting to go for his little...
The defeat.
Yeah, his jawbreaker on the apron.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay. Now I get like when you do an impact move on the ring apron, it's supposedly way more damaging because the apron part of the ring, the frame part of the ring has no give to it. But then I'm like, but when you do that move, it's literally only Enzo is going to be falling on the apron.
Yeah, it wasn't...
And then I was like, oh, maybe he's going to do it all the way to the floor for extra impact. And I'm like, wait, no, because again, it's only Enzo falling onto the floor.
Yeah.
So no matter what he was going to do with his own move, it was just going to be worse for him than it would be for Kalisto.
Yeah, it wasn't going to hurt Kalisto.
Kalisto should have let him do
it. Because it would have just been a regular move for Kalisto, and it would have been a shit show for Enzo. Instead, Kalisto had the fucking badass moment of hitting the cartwheel Death Valley driver on the apron and sticking the landing. Unfortunately, he had hurt his ankle a little bit prior after getting shoved, or getting like hucked over the top rope. And at this point, because they're down, there was almost a double count out.
Yeah.
Enzo actually trying to get away, and Kalisto having to try and hobble after him and toss him back in. And because Enzo is pretty fucked at this point, like Kalisto is fully in the driver's seat, he goes up to the top rope, and Enzo decides to pull a desperation move and kick the referee into the ropes, causing Kalisto to crush himself and fall, and the referee decides to disqualify Enzo.
Yeah.
So Kalisto wins his rematch, but doesn't win the Cruiserweight title. Kalisto is not happy.
No.
He goes over, he decides he just wants to beat the shit out of Enzo a little bit more. Complains to the referee, and then Enzo decides to rub it in by saying, and still your Cruiserweight champion, Enzo Amore. Dick move, bro.
Yeah.
So, I'm sure Kalisto will be getting another title shot here in the near future. If not in another potential non-Raw versus SmackDown match at Survivor Series.
And then
that might be the only actual title match.
Immortal words of Kushida. What a fuck.
Thanks, Kushida. And thank you for watching.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe.
Click the links down below.
There are so many links.
Like a podcast.
That's the SoundCloud link.
And Reasonable Wrestling Fans.
It's Reasonable with the W.
Like
what a fuck.
Be sure to check out Reasonable Wrestling Fans later on this week because a brand new unboxing is going up. It's right there. We've unboxed it. It's got some good shit.
No, we haven't.
I mean, no, we haven't. Yeah, be sure to check that out later this week. Find out what we got from Pro Wrestling Crate this month. Go back and check out our review of TLC because we had some fun watching it.
Yeah.
And join us for the midweek wrap up, which will be super short because there's no lucha underground. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you at whatever video you decide to watch next. Fuck Enzo and more.
What a fuck.